Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, March the 5th. And we're ready to go here for Sports Betting Wednesday, including big-time Champions League action this afternoon. We've also got NBA, NHL, and college basketball. We'll try to pin down those college basketball tournament games for today as we get rolling here in March. Ready for a big month of action here with our NCAAB playoffs. And thanks for joining me here, everyone, on the Morning Steam Show. Hello to everyone in the chat, ready to go with some previews here today after our fun night last night. Same deal, NBA, NHL, and college basketball. How did you do with your selections with the card here on Tuesday night? Say hello to some folks in the chat and get rolling with our show here today. Thank you, everyone here. A light night here for me, but let's see who's here with me in the chat. Cash Kane is here first today. Hello to Kane. First up, opening the doors. Thank you, Kane. Good to be here with you. And here's Joe W. Hey, everyone. Here's my right-hand man. It's my Ed McMahon. This is Thomas Lewis. Good morning, everyone. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Robert McCormick is here today as well. And Jermaine's ready to go. You know he has some action here today with us. And there's Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, I'll get back to you. I thought I did send you a message, and we'll get you paid there. Not going to stiff anybody here. We can't make a big score, but we're definitely going to fulfill our commitment to Johnny, who won one the other day. Thank you, Johnny. And I just need a few minutes to get that to you. I think he said it was a two-teamer, so really appreciate Johnny, and all your contributions here in the chat as well. Thank you, sir. Nice. Fernando, good morning as well. He's here ready for some soccer action today with our big games. Want to let everyone know that we've got Sub Club here. You'll probably stop by and join us here in a few minutes, but got the Sub Club if you want to check out some picks today for UEFA Champions League action. We do have a preview for one of the big games here today for well, I'll just say it. It's for the Barcelona-Benfica game. So check it out right here under the videos tab, the Sub Club. He's got a preview of one of today's games. I might have a few picks here in the Champions League today after yesterday's action as well. We saw some exciting results yesterday for the first leg of the round here with Villa beating Club Brugge 3-1. Barcelona smashed PSV. What happened, Eindhoven? They lost 7-1. Real Madrid over Atletico Madrid 2-1 in a derby. And Dortmund and Lille ended up at a 1-1 draw. Big moment there for Lille to get a 1-1 tie. Good morning to Sports Money in the chat. Sports Money is money. And Sports Money got some things in the works here on the channel. So we've got the Champions League action, of course, today. Feyenoord and Inter Milan, Benfica at Barcelona. Like I said, we got that video up with the sub club. PSG at Liverpool and Bayern Munich at Bayer Leverkusen today in an all-German matchup there. So I think we can probably go over a few plays in the action today, but we'll let people come through and see what they've got for us here with our Champions League. We know we got a great soccer crew here, probably the best on the internet. All right. Let's see here. You guys are talking a little bit about some of the late night action last night with UNLV coming through over San Diego State. And, San Diego State had that lead, and it just didn't, they're missing certainly Magoon Guath right now. And he's not necessarily ready to come back just yet. He might be held out of the Mountain West playoffs here coming up. So hopefully he'll be ready to go. That's a big part of the team here, but nonetheless, he wasn't able to go in that one. All right, let's see here. Also, want to look at a few of the stats here. Nasty Nate's here. He says the Celtics smash. I think he's talking about today's game there, and Robert talking about Aston Villa there yesterday, and Nick Candy is here in the chat as well. All right, so we did have some premium pick winners yesterday in college basketball. Man, really trying to fumble my way through this past week now, but nonetheless, we'll cover a few winners here. Dayton, for me, was a premium pick winner over St. Louis yesterday. Also, I had Western Michigan over Kent. I had Purdue and Rutgers game to go over as a premium pick winner yesterday. Also, winner with Boise and Air Force game to go over. We had a winner there with the picks over unwinnable. Also, New Mexico on the road over Nevada. We had the Lobos in that one, and some of that tournament action anyway. We did have winner here on the show with Coastal Carolina over Southern Miss, a show winner here. Also, Detroit and Northern Kentucky game to go over, winner on the show here. And we had Wright State to blow out IU Indianapolis. Also, we did have a premium pick on the over in that game. Also, a couple more tournament results that we had correct here on the show. Loyola, Maryland over Lehigh. We had that one on the show, and we also had a premium pick winner there with Lehigh and Loyola, Maryland game to go over. Also, yesterday, pretty good results here in NHL for me on the show, and with the premium picks, this is where I shined at least a little bit yesterday. We had Calgary and Philadelphia game total to go over as a premium pick winner. You guys had the winner. Team Steam consensus. Tampa Bay Lightning on the puck line over the Columbus Blue Jackets. I could only muster up my money line pick in that game on the show, but you guys went with Lightning puck line, if I'm not mistaken, and scored with that one. Also, I had a premium pick winner with the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday over the Detroit Red Wings. Or no, I'm sorry. Carolina and Detroit game to go under. Premium pick winner. Also premium pick winner with the Sharks and the Sabres game to go over. I had the Sharks here on the show on the puck line, but they crushed Buffalo yesterday. Also, Winnipeg and Islanders premium pick winner on the under. We had the Dallas Stars on the money line yesterday, but hey, had to come through with a few picks there. Also, Anaheim Ducks on the puck line yesterday against Edmonton. Man, Edmonton in a funk here as we had the Ducks on the puck line, and also Colorado on the puck line here on the show yesterday. We also had a premium pick winner there with the unders. Colorado scored that easy win over Pittsburgh, and we had a show winner yesterday here with the Minnesota Wild over the Kraken. NBA. Looking for winners here. This is where we stumbled with some of our consensus picks. Rockets did not get it done against the Indiana Pacers yesterday, and also The New York Knicks stumbled against the Golden State Warriors yesterday. Man, Golden State continues to look impressive and should have known better, right? I mean, I went with you guys a little bit there with Team Steam consensus, but man, Steph loves to play in New York, doesn't he? They seem to play very, very well there. Also, we had on the show, we had the Spurs. Also, we had the Suns on the show, and you guys wrapped it up with a winner last night on the Lakers after I had already said I liked New Orleans to hang in there, and the Lakers weren't a team to blow anybody out. You guys had it right. Team Steam consensus said score with the Lakers late last night over New Orleans. All right. That'll do it for yesterday's action there. I don't know what we can maybe talk about news-wise yesterday with some of the games there yesterday, but I do got a little bit of steam coming in here we can pass along. Let me say hello to a few more folks in the chat. We got just a couple of dozen of you in here right now so far, so it's a slow start here. I'm hoping to wait just another minute or two to get started. I'll do the commercial, and then maybe we'll have it all built up here and ready to go. Just to let you know how I get ready to start the show. Get a few people watching, right? All right, let's see what else here. Fernando. Oh, Gravy. Good morning to Gravy here. Joe T. Hello. He says it's snow, and Bobby Max got. Man, is the weather really that crazy? Here it's just a brisk 46 degrees here in Las Vegas. Abel, he loved his Lakers. Thomas says, how about the Suns? There, and Abel cashed a nice parlay. James Parm, hello. All right, let me do a little brief interlude here. You can get more plays from me every day when you subscribe to my picks over at winnable.com. Hey, were you any of you hanging out with me in the middle of the night? Oh, here, getting ready for the show. I sent out 3 plays with my free subscriptions over on Winnable in the Chinese Basketball Association. Well, if I'm not getting it quite done right now in college basketball, at least I could go 3-0 in the middle of the night in Chinese basketball. I'll take it. And you can get more plays from me when you subscribe to my picks over at Winnable. You would have gotten those 3 plays in the CBA last night that just wrapped up a few moments ago. I was on tilt a little bit. And hey, we're gonna have more plays coming up this week as the action gets underway at Indian Wells. Anybody ready for some high-level tennis tournament action here this week as they get fired up and away here at Indian Wells today? They're going to be going off here in about 5 hours with massive number of matches, and as tennis season is here, man, for sure, at least in the United States, as we get ready for the action in California today. So check me out over at winnable.com. Also, I have premium picks behind a paywall here in NBA, NHL, college basketball, and more when you subscribe over at winnable.com. Also, preseason, exhibition, spring training baseball picks, and college baseball as well comes on that free subscription mostly right now. So why not check me out over at winnable.com? If you don't want to ante up for 50 cents a day and get my 1 month worth of picks, you can get that free subscription there over at Winnable, and I'll send out some plays there and some peripheral sports, as we like to call it. Appreciate that, everybody. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network. Got some other shows that we go on and everything, but to keep me coming here, click that QR code in the lower right hand corner of the screen. I'm all about the Sports Money Network, let's face it. And let me get this going here. When you subscribe here, let me get the address up. There you go. Winnable looks like this. You go over there, and on the phone comes up just like this, and you can subscribe down there just like that at winnable.com. $4 a day, $8 a week, or $19.95 a month. You click on it, it's just like ordering Taco Bell. It comes right up on your screen, and then you click on it, and then you're in there over at Winnable. Okay, appreciate that. Use that promo code STEAM right there to save 20% off all premium pick packages. And when you click on it, it comes right up there. There's a little service charge on there or whatever, but hopefully it's well worth it. What do you get is just more plays from me. I can't spend all morning with you here, but do have more plays, and I send them out over there off of the app, and you can put your notifications on and know when they come in. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. Say hello to a few more folks here, and then we are ready to go. All right. And Terrell talking about those Clippers. How about the San Diego Clippers? That's what I'm talking about. Smash it, like it, share it. You know what to do. There, the Sports Money Network. And there's a sub in the chat. Like I said, check it out. Sub's got his plays, his top play today, or at least his video play today in the UEFA Champions League over there. And let me see if I thought we'd have some other soccer. I was just going to make my picks, maybe make my picks here for the UEFA Champions League today. Oh, here we go. We're starting to get some now here in the chat. Let's see here. Inter to score, Barcelona to win in a parlay today, says Abel. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead with my picks here right now. If anybody has their Champions League, I don't have graphics for the Champions League games. I guess I should. They're so important, but we've got all that. We've got college basketball tournaments today. We've got some NBA and NHL. All right. Let's see here. Spoons, good morning. Hello. And now Thomas is talking. Well, they did, I don't want any sour cream on my taco. So Terrell talking about those crinkle cut Del Taco fries. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. All right, here we go. Sub talking a little bit of Champions League today. Says Inter's defense is banged up. If they win a low-scoring affair, I agree with that. Sub, my play in the game between Inter and Feyenoord is under 2.5 goals. Here, that'll be my show play here in this one. I'll have some premium picks for sure going out over there at Winnable. Or I'm sorry, I think I'll have them on the complimentary service, the free service, if you will. I'll have a few more plays there, but maybe we can throw out one more, two more here. But I've got under in Inter and Feyenoord, and I'm sure that Noli likes that one. Yes, he says. Okay, Sub says, he likes Inter as a one shot here, maybe to get it done. And Thomas he's not sure about guacamole, but I think we could talk him into it. I mean, if Thomas, he does seem like a man who enjoys culinary delicacies, and you got to do this, Thomas. It's a life changer. Even I, as a youth, even from Southern California, was not sure about the guac or the avocados, Terrell, but I understand it all now. It all makes sense to me. All right. I guess we'll get started on the show there. Hey, if you got some other Champions League here a little bit, let me know. But that'll be my one play on the show, and I think I've got 3 plays that'll be coming out on the subscription at Winnable. So if you want to get some more plays, or just know what I'm on there, please consider subscribing for free over there at Winnable. Let me see if I can show that real quick, and then we'll get started. Oh, there it is. Little free subscription right there. When you go over to Winnable, you click on the 0 subscribe, get the free VIP picks. And you would have gotten those 3 Chinese basketball winners. And they were pretty easy winners, I thought, there. All right. Let's get started on our show here with our NBA. Thank you for joining me, everybody. What was the headline for you guys last night in the world of sports, or in maybe with the state of the year? Well, the joint session of Congress speech there, but all right. But we did see some exciting play, though, obviously, yesterday in college basketball as well. Mentioned that, but we'll get involved in our tournament action today, and we'll go over those tournament games as kind of our featured coverage. Even though there was some, there is some other big games, we may touch on those as well. Some still factoring into the conference titles, anyways. For example, in the ACC, we know some of the contending teams are playing today as well. So, all right, let's get started, shall we? I think we got just 3 dozen of you in here today. Let's cover the steam here. Maybe a few more people will straggle in here. LaSalle just got steamed right now in their matchup today with George Mason. It was 13.5. We're down to 12.5 right now, as LaSalle just took the steam moments ago against George Mason. Also, Notre Dame took the steam just a few moments ago in their matchup today. Notre Dame is a 1-point underdog, or was a 1-point underdog against Stanford. They're going to be favored here now. Notre Dame going to be favored in their game tonight against Stanford. Right now, Notre Dame is currently at -1 at Bovada. Still, some books a little sluggish here, still listing Stanford as a favorite, but Notre Dame is going to be taking the steam here, it looks like right now, and moving to at least a pick 'em, if not a favorite, at some of the books here. Also, a few moments ago in the NBA, we had some steam come in on the Heat and the Cavaliers. Let's see here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm just reading it wrong. Xavier is taking steam here right now. My computer was hanging there a little bit. Xavier is taking steam right now. Oh my gosh. Xavier was a 1.5-point favorite overnight. Xavier is now up to 4 right now on the road against Butler tonight. Xavier taking the steam here right now against Butler on the road. All right. Okay, man, just can't quite. Maybe if I was doing the previews, people would stick around. So let me go ahead and start. Say hello to a few more folks and get started. Just a couple dozen of you in here today. Here we go. Let's take a look here. Sports Money's parlaying them up. Abel's got the guacamole. He's got the avocados with the emojis there. Subs got a little bit more in soccer, and we're ready to go here. Non-correlated SGP and the PSG, a Liverpool game, BTTS, and under 4.5. And maybe the scoring. Oh man, okay, Sub, I got you there. All right, let's get going. I'm just reading a few more in the chat here. Okay, Jerry, good to see Jerry in the chat as well. Yeah, here we go. Let's go. Started off with NBA coverage here. The Jazz taking on the Wizards today.
Steam playing.
Now we got one more here real quick. Clemson getting steamed right now. I talked about the matchups a little bit in the ACC, where we're still, hashing it out a little bit there. Looks like Duke will get there, but nonetheless, we still have a couple of teams still alive here at this point, and we're seeing some movement here right now in the game with Clemson uh, favored today. They were minus 14.5, but they're getting steamed here right now up to 15.5. It looks like on the road against BC, Clemson taking that steam against Boston College. Okay, I'm ready to roll here now with the Utah Jazz taking on the Washington Wizards here. I guess we could have skipped this one and maybe put in some other college games. I got to focus in on that and know that we can kick some of these games out right now, can't we? With Utah and Washington. Here's Ole Miss taking some steam right now, big time. In their matchup today, Ole Miss against Tennessee. Ole Miss was getting 3.5. This one's going all the way down to 2 right now. It looks like Ole Miss. Some serious steam here right now in their matchup against Tennessee. It was, down to 2 here already at BetOnline. Big move on Ole Miss. Steam coming in right now. All right, as far as this one's concerned, I guess we've made it no turning back now, but Wizards here -5 in this one. And the total here, 231. Utah comes in with a couple of losses in a row here right now to Detroit and New Orleans. They've been definitely struggling here a little bit. Oh. Let me get going here. All right. For Utah here, 31-28 this season as an underdog, but they're going to be getting 5 here against a Washington team that has lost 8 of their last 10 games overall and are favored here to win by 5 points in this one. With Utah, it's usually about who's in, who's out of the lineup, and we're right back to it. These guys can't play 2 games in a row. They take days off like a bunch of prima donna superstars, and they're just the Utah Jazz. So I understand if you've got players that are marginally healthy, let me be fair to them, but Sexton out, Markkanen out, Kessler out, Collins out. Again, Clarkson out. These guys are out every other game right now. For some reason, nursing their injuries just to get healthy for one game, and then the same thing, rinse and repeat right now. Now the Wizards will be without here Jordan Poole. Also, Malcolm Brogdon is out of this one. Holmes is questionable. George is questionable here. What a bad God. What am I doing here? Previewing this garbage. Anyways, Utah's gone over in 8 of their last 10 games overall. They're 19-10 to the over on the road. Get me out of here is what I should be saying in this one. We'll go to the chat with my apologies and see what you got here. I got to go under. It's already down to 230. My play's on the under. But there's no doubt that it does look like, we're getting to that time of the year where the defense is becoming optional on some of these games here. Let's get to some of this steam, too. Gosh, you guys, I'm sorry here. You guys are coming in with plays. Fernando on the under, Wizards for Thomas. You guys are game. I really appreciate that. All right. Gravy wondering about the steam there. And yeah, I think each situation is different there, Gravy, but there's no doubt when you're a steam chaser, a lot of times you're not going to get the best of the number. And, well, it does create value if you're looking the other way. So I don't have a suggestion there, I would say. What the job of the Steam is to alert everyone that these games are on the move. They are usually considered to be the correct side. There's always what are called head fakes, where you might be seeing one team take the action, yet the other team will end up being. And again, the limits are lower early on as well. So um, you can hear it in my voice sometimes, I think, or I may even just say, hey, I'm not into it, or I'm all about it, that type of thing, I guess. All right, let's see here. Terrell says, got the Jazz starting out this road trip for Jazz. All right, Jerry there. Terrell says he didn't know that the LeBron 50,000 was a. I don't know if that was a motivator, though. All right. Yeah, Thomas says, imagine that. The Wizards giving 5 points at home favorite. All right, Cash Kane says Jerry's ready for a slam dunk play. Probably ain't going to be in this game though, right, guys? Nunya, good morning to Nunya in the chat. Thank you, Spoons, for your information here. We'll share that with everyone. Got some injury information from our man. All right, I'll take the under here with the Jazz and the Wizards. Boy, a little bit embarrassed I didn't cut that one from the previews, and now we just wasted 2 minutes on it, if that, a little bit more. All right, here's a better game with the Heat taking on the Cavs here in this one. The Cavs favored by 10.5. Total down here too, 225.5 here in this one. So a little bit of move on the Heat and a bigger move on the under in this one with the Heat and the Cavs. The Cavs seem to be all about those overs, but nonetheless, got a pretty strong move here to the under in this one. It's funny because you look at Cleveland right now, they've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games and over in 11 of their last 15 games overall. Miami's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games. The Heat have covered the spread in 5 of their last 7 games. Right now, Cleveland has won 11 consecutive games coming in. They're also 7-1-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. But like I said, the Heat, I would expect them to be able to kind of build a little bit on, just getting their roster together, and they're covering numbers here too right now. So still, Cleveland is the talk of the league with knocking down all the comers. They just played a very tough part of their schedule and kind of passed it with flying colors, it felt like. So let's see what you have here in this one with Cleveland and Miami here. Miami doing a good job. 4 straight covers right now, including those 3-1 in the last 4 games and 4 straight covers here for Miami. They didn't cover against the Knicks when they were 6-point. I thought they did cover that game though. Actually, yeah, they covered. They lost 116 to 112, but got the money as a road dog here. So Cleveland, they clubbed Chicago last night. That has to be a little bit of a factor here that they played their final score in that one. Let me see here. Want to make sure I got this right in that Cavs game last night. 139-117. Oh, yeah, I remember now because I was rolling with the under and you guys had the Bulls. We whipped on that one. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you got here in this one with the Heat and the Cavs. I think we're going to get some plays from the chat. Okay. Right, Jerry. I don't know why I'm excited either. Okay, let's see. Billy Mack, hello. And let's see here. See if we got anything in the Heat and the Cavs from the chat. Terrell, maybe by me first right here. Cavs team total over 118.5. Okay. And Robert's on the under here in this one with the Heat and the Cavs. All right. That's it from you guys. Not much on this one. Maybe a little bit tough here is what I'm thinking. And I'll make my call as well. Nothing from you guys in this one. Okay, that's fine. No problem here. I got to think that Cleveland here can win, but I'm going to have to take the Heat here plus these points. Doing a good job at this point. Give me the Heat plus 10 against. Okay, there we go. Abel's got the over here. All right. He's got somebody joining me there a little bit. I'll keep it going right now with next up Timberwolves and the Hornets. In this one, you've got the Wolves on the road, favored by 9. The total here, 223.5. This one definitely moving sharply higher here to that number, 223.5. Okay, that's fine. You got maybe a little bit of an under trend here, the way things have been going with the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, maybe today they will go off. Maybe this type of game will be the type of game that will rack up a bunch of points. But come on, I mean, Charlotte's 8-22, the under at home this season. They're 17-35 to the under as a dog. Charlotte's gone under in 9 straight home games when they're facing teams on a back-to-back, such as the Minnesota Timberwolves, who got that win over Philadelphia, but they did not get the money in that game. They were favored by 14.5. Some people may have won, some people may have lost. Really, it came down to the timing of the market there, because for the most part, it was around 14. It may have even snuck up to 14.5, moved back down to 13.5. There are some winners that had the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday. I graded it as a loss because on the show here, I believe it was 14.5, but it eventually went down to 13.5 at game time. So you may have won. I think I lost, given what we played here on the show yesterday. It was a high-scoring game, though, yesterday for Minnesota, obviously, with 126 points. All right, and let's cover a few numbers here with these two teams. With Minnesota making their trip in here, Charlotte right now has lost 10 of their last 11 games coming in. They've lost 7 straight games overall right now for Minnesota. They've actually struggled in this series with Charlotte. Charlotte has actually covered 7 of the last 10 meetings between one and covered 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. So, and not always the best trip right now, but Charlotte's struggling in a big way. Also, Charlotte's gone under in 8 of their last 11 games overall and 4 of their last 5 games as well overall right now. Charlotte's gone under in 13 of their last 16 home games here at this point. For Minnesota, they've gone over in 7 of their last 9 on the road. These two teams met back in November. Minnesota won and crushed 114-93, covering 11.5 in that one. Go to the chat. Pardon me. Let's go to the chat, see if you have a pick here in this one. Good morning, too. Super True. Thomas is on Minnesota in the under here. Oh, did I lose the graphic there? Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, I wanted to update the graphic for sure here with that total. That's what I was doing. Like I said, from 220 now to 223.5. All right. Charlotte doing a pretty good job against the spread in some of these games, man. They continue to get the money right now. And not only that, I mean, look, we know this is one of the worst teams going, and not getting the money necessarily in this role as a home dog, but they did cover against Dallas on the road recently in a 103-96 loss, getting 10.5. But still, it's been slim pickings right now for Charlotte. Minnesota's won and covered the last 2 games overall. So, all right, nothing from you guys in the chat. Pressure's on me here. Abel likes the Timberwolves here.
Steam play.
Terrell's got Ant to go over here in this one. And if any game has a little bit of injury news, I guess it has to be Ant here. He is probable with a sore wrist here. Also, Rudy Gobert nearing the return here, it looks like. Could be today in this one. So, also, for the Hornets here, Taj Gibson is probable. All right, see what you guys have. I think that might be it from you guys here in the chat. I'm taking the Minnesota Timberwolves to rock here against Charlotte. Hope the dance in there, and I'll take the Wolves in this one. Hey, Billy Mack says Bayern Munich going to lose to Bayer Leverkusen today. Nunya's got his college basketball plays. Thank you, Nunya. Abel says he thinks the Bayern Munich game will be a draw. All right. I'll save my play on that one. Got some good information there from you guys. Let's keep it going in the NBA now with the Trailblazers on the road here, taking on the Celtics. You got the Celtics favored by 10 against the Trailblazers. I mean, you'd think the Trailblazers were 10 games over 500 right now and not 6 games under 500. How many games do they have to win here to get their record to respectability? Portland continues to smash these games right now and cover the numbers anyway. Even when they lost to Cleveland, they were able to get the number, and then they bounced back from that loss and mashed Philadelphia. Sure, who doesn't? But nonetheless, these Trailblazers are out of control here and just looking terrific. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. Right now, it's up to 225 here at this point. The spread might be down to 9.5 here, it feels like, at some spots. Boston is coming in off of that win and cover over Denver. Hey, we had the Boston Celtics in that game. You know we did. Here, Boston doing a pretty good job here of late, 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Meanwhile, for Portland here, they're still pretty dynamic, 31-21 as an underdog this season. Also, 18-13 against the spread on the road. Portland has been scoring for bettors here, no doubt about it. They've covered 16 of their last 21 games overall, 5 of their last 6 games overall. Boston, though, here has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Portland, 13-18 to the under on the road. But still, this one has ticked up a little bit from the opening number on that total. Right now at Pinnacle, 224.5. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you have. Trailblazers and Celtics. All right. Thomas has Portland here and over. Okay. Sub talking a little more soccer there. Thank you, Sub. Also, let's see here. Abel might be over in this game. Cash Kane going over. Or Bobby Mack likes Portland here. All right. Cash Kane, he also likes the Celtics. Celtics and over. Right, Terrell? Terrell, that's how the game should be scored. And they'll put all the teams in there with the playoffs, right? Whoever has the best spread record. Remember what I always said, the coach with the best spread record should be the coach of the year. He got the most out of his team and surprised the experts, surprised the gamblers the most. So does feel like a pretty good, position there for the most part. With the Portland Trailblazers here, but for me, I'm going to be on the over in this one. Let me update it at least here to 225. There we go. Give myself the tough line here. Give me the over with Portland and Boston today. I know I was, hinting at, Portland and some of their overs, but they are playing well on both ends. It feels like to me right now. I'm just going to be on the over here with Portland and Boston. All right. And Donut in the chat. Thunder and Grizzlies here. Thunder on the road, favored by 8. Favored by 9 now. The total, 2. Let me get this straight. I know we have it. I hope I didn't. I might have went out of order here. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, let me fix this here a little bit because we know that total is wrong. It's 250, by the way. But let me just get the order right here. With Dallas is next, you guys. There we go. There were a couple of time changes here, and I just didn't have it right. So let me fix that. We've got Milwaukee favored by 9.5, and the total 22.5. We'll call it 10.5, actually. 10.5. 222.5 in this one, with Milwaukee favored at home by double digits here in this one. Milwaukee comes in off of a 3-game winning streak right now, wins over Atlanta, Dallas, and Denver. They covered the spread in all those games for Dallas. Meanwhile, up to back-to-back losses against Sacramento and Milwaukee. They failed to cover in 3 straight games overall coming into this one. So I'm almost ready to start putting away the narrative about Dallas here and their, decent spread record since the big trade. All of a sudden now things are starting to go awry, it feels like, a little bit for the Mavericks. Now, to be fair, I'll still give them credit for what they did right away and say that the injuries now is the problem with Dallas. That's what's starting to stack up here, these injuries. Not only AD, but you've got other guys there on the injured list. You've got Washington out of this one. You've got Exum out of this one. You've got Hardy out here. We know they have other injuries as well. For Milwaukee, you've got Connaughton questionable in this one, but still big favorite here for the Bucks. And just really a bummer when we got that news about Kyrie as well. So does suck right now for the Mavericks, and it feels like it's falling apart fast, unfortunately, with basically your 3 best players that were left over now injured here, and other injuries as well. So all right, still a lot of points. If you can stomach it, it feels like here. Uh, might be a little bit of a dead spot for the Maverick or for the Bucks here. Let's go to the chat. See what you might have in this one. There's Donut. Hello. Thomas likes the over here. And Terrell says you got none of these guys in the lineup. You can't do anything. Abel's on the Bucks in this one. Yeah, no doubt about Thomas. AD is probably out for the remainder of the season for sure. It doesn't feel like he's going to be able to make it back here, unfortunately. And why, maybe why should he? It feels like. All right, and there's Robertson. Got to fear the deer. I know the Sharps are going to be on Dallas in this game, but I can't do it. I can't bring myself to it, and that's where I don't know. Maybe like they were saying, what do you take on with the Sharps here? I don't know if I can. The Sharps are on Dallas. Hey, good morning to Dave in the chat. Nice to see Dave here today. Cash Kane says, take those points with the Mavericks here. He says, look, they'll still be game. The spot to me says Dallas. I'm not sure that the personnel is even there enough. The one thing we've seen from the Milwaukee Bucks of late, right, is that they are able to cover some pretty hefty numbers here, whereas they were definitely struggling a little bit to get some of those numbers as a favorite. They don't have a great record as a favorite, just 20 and 22 against the spread as a favorite, but still, nonetheless, they're back to being in a groove here right now. At least 6-2 against the spread their last 8 games. For Milwaukee, 7-3 in their last 10, and Dallas is just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. Dallas is 20-14 to the over as a dog. Milwaukee 24-19 to the over as a favorite, but the total has gone down here a little bit. Like I said, 3 whole points really right now. So, all right, let's see here. Oh, there's, good point. Terrell, right? That was the other news this week is the Mavericks will raise the ticket prices here. Thomas says he thinks it's going to be a blowout. I'll take the Milwaukee Bucks to blow out the Dallas Mavericks here in this one. Bucks and under here for Abel. All right. Let's go now. Make sure I got these games in order here. Kings and Nugs. Kings and Nuggets in this one. The Nuggets are favored by 5.5. The total 236.5 here in this one. I want to interrupt with the college theme here real quick, just because there's been about 4 or 5 that came in that we kind of just let go by to keep the pace going a little bit. But let me stop right now and give a few out here real quick. Kansas State and Cincinnati just got steamed moments ago to the over. It was 136 up to 137. 2 teams that, I'd say they have a few unders on their resume this season, but steamed to the over here, 137 now with Kansas State at Cincinnati. All right. Also, just moments ago, it was the Cincinnati Bearcats as well. They did get steamed from 8 up to 9.5 here at DraftKings. I think that basically was the opening line. So even though the steam reportedly came in on Cincinnati, right? So we're trying to decipher what the moves mean. I think that was a discussion in the chat. Nonetheless, Cincinnati took that steam against K-State. Also, St. Joe's took the steam in their matchup against Rhode Island. St. Joe's was a 10.5-point favorite, but right now, St. Joe's is up to 11.5, for example, at DraftKings. Steam move on St. Joe's. Georgia Southern took the steam in their matchup with Southern Miss. Georgia Southern was as low as a 3.5 point favorite, but right now we're seeing Georgia Southern here up to big time here right now at 5.5. Man, this was one of the big moves here of the day from Georgia Southern in their tournament game against Southern Miss. We'll preview it. Also, the Washington Huskies got steamed in their matchup with USC tonight. It was 7.5, but right now we're down to 6.5 right now with the University of Washington. Mostly sevens, but there is 6.5 at DraftKings because that steam did come in on the Washington Huskies against SC tonight. Also, Cal in their matchup with Louisville. It was 15, but now it's down here to 14 here, possibly even a little bit lower right now with Cal taking that steam against Louisville. Also, DePaul and Providence steam to the over here. It was 142, but we're up to 143 or so with steam to the over on DePaul and Providence. Also, Ole Miss took the steam in their matchup. Okay, we're all caught up. We gave that one out. All right, here we go.
Steam play.
Wagner in their tournament matchup right now, taking the steam here against St. Francis. Wagner was getting Wagner was at one point getting 4.5. This one's down to 2.5 right now. Wagner taking the steam against St. Francis here in their tournament game today, just now. Down to 2.5. All right, we'll continue on here with our last couple of NBA games tonight with the Kings taking on the Nuggets on the road. You've got the Nuggets here. We can't seem to get rolling here. We'll pass this one along. Chicago State and LIU steam to the over here. It was 128. We're up to 129 right now in the blockbuster tournament game here. Chicago State and LIU steam to the over. All right, Kings and Nuggets here right now with the Nuggets favored in this one by 6. And the total here in this one currently at 236.5 or so with Sacramento and Denver here for Sacramento. They come in having covered 5 of their last 7 games overall and 4 of their last 5 games overall. They've also won 4 straight and 7 of their last 9 games. For Denver here, they've won 7 of their last 10 games overall, but they did lose to Boston last time out, of course. They've been alternating wins and covers over the last several games right now, but still Denver 16-12 against the spread at home. Sacramento 6-10 against the spread as an underdog. Denver's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games coming into this one. See what you guys might do here for Denver. They've gone over in 19 of their 29 home games this season. Sacramento's gone over in 11 of their 16 games as an underdog. Although, like I said, they are going under a bit here of late. Also, 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Denver have gone under. Go to the chat here in this one. Sacramento and Denver. Sacramento has gone under in 4 straight games overall. And let's take a look here. Let's see. Abel says he goes over here with the Kings and the Nuggets. Thomas likes St. Joe's. Thomas likes Georgia Southern. Thomas likes USC, and Thomas likes Cal. Thomas likes giving out the picks on the Steam games. I like that. All right, Jerry, appreciate the info there on that Cincinnati game. He also talked about Georgia Southern. Nasty Nate likes Providence today. And here we go. Super True says he says that DePaul he shows DePaul got steam to the under. All right, let me check here and see what. Again, I mean, I would say if anything that steam moves in general are to be interpreted by, you know, you might look at it as if because the line has moved in that direction. Let me see here. DePaul game. Okay. The move has been on the under, but the reported steam was on the over. So the move is not always going to be the same as the steam. And again, it could be a head fake. Again, I'm just reciting what is being sent over by the line service. Something could be steamed in one direction and then still end up moving in the other direction. So you may also have your own screen watching that you're marking down as, steam, if you will. And that's what we do here on the morning steam, right? We keep a look at all these plays. Over here's Thomas. He likes Denver and under. And Terrell says Denver hasn't blowed anybody out in a while. Well, they did beat up on the Pistons the other night by 15 points, certainly. But like I said, they just keep going back and forth right now. Robert likes Denver here. It almost seems like a manageable number. But remember, Sacramento, they've done a pretty nice job, too, covering numbers here right now like nobody's business. So 4-game cover streak here right now for the Kings. All right, I'll make my call here in this one, and I'll take the Sacramento Kings plus the points against Denver. Against my better judgment here. You guys are pretty much on Denver, it feels like, in the chat. And Robert says he wonders if Nikola Jokic will be playing in this game even today. Maybe because of the indicative of the number, but just waiting to see on that ankle injury whether or not he'll make the lineup. He is a pretty durable player that injuries don't affect him that much, but still some other guys with question marks here, including Aaron Gordon, questionable, Ken Carr, questionable, Najee is questionable, and Watson questionable as well. Sabonis still out for the Kings here, and Monk is also questionable. Hello to Nuke in the chat. All right, I think that's going to do it for that one. Let's go to, now we can get to this one with the Thunder, and let's fix the line there. We know it's Thunder by 9, the total 250 for the most part right now. The Thunder can't be stopped. Neither can the Grizzlies. What a game tonight. Should be the featured game, it feels like, here with OKC. Big favorite here on the road against the Grizzlies, but come on. We know the Thunder are good. The Grizzlies still pretty good as well. Ja Morant, though, questionable, and the Grizzlies do come in with a 3-game losing streak right now, no doubt. They've been struggling here really to get some numbers. Well, meanwhile, OKC is on a 4-game winning streak. They failed to get the big number against Houston last time out. For the Grizzlies, they have some other injuries in here as well. Conchar, I can't get confused there, but he's questionable. Pippen questionable. Aldama questionable. Kawamura is out. Jackson is out as well. So injuries for sure for Memphis. Meanwhile, for the Thunder, Caruso out. Isaiah Joe comes in questionable here. And These two teams met back on February 8th, 125-112. It was the Thunder winning again. They've owned this series with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Thunder right now in this series against the Memphis Grizzlies, kind of, like I said, dominating overall and at this venue. Oklahoma City's won the last 7 games over Memphis and gone 6-1 in those games, including 8-3 in the last 11 trips in here. Memphis gets the money at home against OKC. OKC's been getting the money of late in general in the series. There's no doubt OKC is winning all the games, but I think the dramatic improvement of Memphis has kind of closed the gap there as far as head-to-head is concerned, where Oklahoma City is just 3-8 against the spread their last 11 meetings here with Memphis. Still, Memphis in a bad way. They're not covering any numbers here all of a sudden, but still a big number against a team that still shows a penchant for covering, 17-13 against the spread at home, but OKC 34-22 against the spread on the road. All right, go to the chat here. Man, look at this total. Is it going to go over? It probably is going to go over. Here we go. I'm going to the chat. Thank you, Nuke, for that. Really appreciate that. Nice to see you here today. Kiadra, thank you for being here. All right, Gravy talking about that Steam. Yeah, Steam, just a coordinated move where you see all the books kind of moving the game at the same time, based usually on some sharp action by one or more of the books. All right. Let's see here. There's AOD as well. Hello, AOD. All right. There's Thomas with an OKC pick there. All right. We're getting a few picks here. Here's Abel on the Grizzlies. You guys are a bit shy today, it feels like, in the chat. We got 50 of you in here right now. Appreciate you being here with me on the Morning Steam Show. All right. I'm going to try the over here as my play. Robert's on the Thunder. Give me the over. Here in a wild one, Thunder and Grizzlies. 250 points incoming. We got a couple more here on the NBA schedule, or one more, I guess, on the NBA schedule tonight with the Pistons taking on the Clippers here. The Pistons favored by 4.5 now. The total 219.5. How about AUD and the Pistons coming in here? There we go. 4.5, 219.5. Clippers have lost 3 straight games coming in, and they've been failing every game right now. They haven't covered in a couple of weeks here. Meanwhile, Detroit, you know what they're all about. They're all about, whoa, the Clippers. There we go. The Clippers. All right. In this one, the Pistons definitely taking the action here a little bit. Moved from 3.5 up to 4.5 here. It was actually 3 up to 4.5 here. And the totals moved as well higher in this one for the Clippers here. They've currently come in having just won in their last 12 games as an underdog. Have the LA Clippers here. Really, really bad numbers there as far as that's concerned. The Clippers, though, have won 10 of the last 11 meetings against the Detroit Pistons. Now, there's a lot to be said for what's going on here with Detroit currently and some of their numbers here, their record overall. Can you believe these guys 35-27 here cooking? They have the better record coming in. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, 18-6 straight up as a favorite. Detroit's gone 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Clippers are just 2-10 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've failed to cover in 8 straight overall right now. So Pistons on a roll, Clippers fading fast. At this point, Clippers, Detroit officially 8-1 in their last 9 against the spread, 10-2 in their last 12. Now, to be fair, even though the Pistons usually don't win against the Clippers, they do cover the spread, despite being 1-5 straight up their last 6 games on the road here at the Clippers. Detroit's gone 6-1 against the spread in those last 7 games against the Clippers. So usually they're a dog, but they usually get the number despite losing. Nonetheless, right now they're a favorite. Clippers have gone under in 9 of 26 and 17 of 26 games as an underdog. We know that's kind of their thing. All right, let's go to the chat. Clippers also under in 5 straight home games when they're on a back-to-back. And, of course, yesterday we saw the Clippers in that matchup with the Phoenix Suns lose on the road. We had the Suns here on the show last night. Go to the chat here and see what you got. And James Parham, he was on Memphis in that last game. AOD does not like my Clippers. He's very, very disdain for the Clippers. I think Thomas here might like Detroit. Kiadra says, don't forget the Clippers still have a good spread record at home, one of the best, no doubt. 20-9 against the spread at home for the Clippers. But if you just erased all that, and then you said what is going on currently with these teams, right? Kawhi is out of this game. Normie is out as well. Derek Jones questionable. Detroit, Harris is out. Ivy is out. We know Ivy's out. Stewart is probable. Okay, there's Mr. Tomatoes. Come on, Tomatoes, get it together in there. I care very much about Gravy's opinion. I'll just state that right now. James Parham likes Detroit. Oh, look at this. Thomas says Detroit is a consensus play. We needed one. There it is. Okay. A lot of people on Detroit apparently in the chat. Clippers for Abel. Thomas likes the under here, I think. Or maybe it was a consensus. Robert's on the Clippers here. And Tomato says the Clippers and Suns. That game was hard to watch last night. All right. I guess that's going to do it. For the I need to play. Well, if you guys are going to go to the all right. You guys are getting a little ornery in the chat there. Let's try to be a little bit more respectful.
System playing.
All right, give me the under here in this one, Pistons and the Clippers tonight. Thomas is going to get that under control here real quick like. All right, that's it for the NBA. Let's go to the NHL here right now. They wouldn't let me kick anybody out of the chat anymore because I'm not very good at it. Okay, let's go to the NHL here right now. We got 5 games on tap. And we got to get it rolling here right now with the Senators taking on the Blackhawks here in this one. Senators, $2 favorite. Oh, right now, the Senators are getting steamed. That was the move you just heard in the background. The Senators are up to 220 here right now. They are taking the steam here at this point against the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, Senators on the road here. They haven't been playing very well. The Blackhawks have won their last 2 games coming into this one. Blackhawks beat LA, beat Anaheim in the last 2. Meanwhile, Ottawa here off of a loss to Washington. They beat San Jose before that, but then they were on a losing streak before that. So, for whatever reason here, the Senators are up to 220, 225 now. The move coming in here on Ottawa against the Blackhawks right now, no doubt about it. For Chicago, they have gone over 16, 9, and 4 at home to the over, but Ottawa 11, 19, and 2 to the under on the road. These 2 teams have not met actually this season. And let's see what, if anything, for you guys here in the chat. Pretty serious move here on Ottawa, but wow. All right. All right. You guys are arguing about nothing that means anything. It seems like you're just more interested in, debating something that means nothing on a day, when we really going to try to work on these winners a little bit. Okay. Oh, there's Cadre Blackhawks on the money line here. And maybe that's just where I'm going to go. I mean, look, these the Blackhawks are pretty bad, but can Ottawa really be trusted as a puck line favorite? They're 9-22 as a puck line favorite. Meanwhile, Chicago at least is 32-25 as a puck line underdog right now. And right, obviously with this steam move, right, that puts the value on Chicago, but man, Chicago, as bad as they've been, at least they've won a couple in a row here. They're minus $1.45 on the puck line. That doesn't seem great, but I'm going to try the Blackhawks here on the puck line. Even after this steam move, I'm fading the steam a little bit here and taking the Blackhawks plus a goal and a half. All right. Let's take a look here. And that looks like it from you guys. I'm trying to Capitals taking on the Rangers here in this one. You got the Capitals on the road, $1.15. And yeah, maybe you've got Lindgren in here today. We'll see if Charlie Lindgren is in goal here in this one after signing his extension. Washington's got their goaltenders wrapped up here. It feels like did want to mention back in that Chicago game. I think Knight, did he play in the first game already now that he's with Chicago? I actually heard that nonetheless, I did have Knight listed there for Chicago. Spencer Knight was traded here to the Blackhawks this past week. All right, Capitals and Rangers here. The Rangers are playing pretty well here of late. Won their last 2 games overall over the Islanders and over Nashville. They've been playing steady hockey here for sure of late. Meanwhile, for Washington, they're kind of in a funk. They did beat Ottawa last time out to snap a 3-game home losing streak. They came out of the break a little bit sluggish here, but still going to be favored here tonight on the road against the Rangers. These 2 teams just met back on January 4th. Washington won at 7-4. Washington won both meetings so far this season. The Rangers are 6-14 to the under as an underdog. They're 11-20 to the under at home. And you see the total here, currently at 6 flat, it looks like. Go to the chat and make a pick here with Washington and the Rangers tonight. And what do we got? We got B-Hawk on the Rangers. And also Kiadra likes the Rangers on the puck line here, plus a goal and a half at minus 220. Or so. All right. I'm going to take the under in this one with the Capitals and the Rangers tonight. Give me the under here. Caps and Rangers. Smash it, like it, spread it around, says Nuke. Next up, the Maple Leafs taking on the Golden Knights here tonight. We got 3 late games out west. Golden Knights come in $1.55. The total 6.5 under 25 here, I think, for the most part. Let's update the line here. All right, maybe that's the line. Right there, let's go to this one with the Leafs on the road here against the Knights. Maybe this is the game of the night for sure here. Toronto did have their winning streak snapped last time out as they lost to the Sharks at home. The Leafs are in one of those, scheduling spots that probably is not great here is what it feels like. You have the Leafs played all those. Remember, they had that started off with the road trip, right? And they were playing well. They came home for one game against San Jose, lost, and then they're right back to the West Coast here with taking on the Golden Knights. So they only came home for one game, and that was a back-to-backer. Now, they have had a night off, but they played at Pittsburgh, remember, back on Sunday, then came and played San Jose at home on Monday, grabbed their stuff, and hit the road here to take on the Golden Knights. So a little bit of a tough scheduling spot despite the pretty good play here of late for Toronto. Vegas is playing outstanding. What can you say? They won against New Jersey. They won against the Blackhawks. Here they didn't lose to the Kings, but they're in a pretty good groove. They're 22-6 at home this season. Toronto's been hot, though. This is a great matchup here. But look at the Golden Knights up to $1.55. This one was $1.35 at one point. It even opened $1.25. Now I'm showing it up to $1.60. I would imagine we're going to get the steam play in the back here any second right now on this game with the Golden Knights. Wow, they're getting steamed up big time. Not officially, right? They're not even really official steam. Like I said, steam is maybe an interpretation sometimes, but nonetheless, man, this thing is really on the move here in this one. And look, 6.5 under 25. Mostly 6 over 20. I probably should correct it here because if anything, I gotta tell you, I like the under, but I'll call it 6 over 25. All right, man, and it is. I'm not kidding. It is up to $1.60 at a lot of spots here. Even the sharp books right now going north of this number. All right. Toronto 17-10 to the over on the road. Meanwhile, Vegas has gone under in 15 of their last 21 games at home right now, and 7 of their last 10 overall at home have gone under. Let's go to the comments here in the chat. Gerardo, thank you for these plays. Wow. Kiadra, Toronto puck line. Cash Kane, Rangers money line and under. And that other, thank you, Kane. James Parham with the under here. Abel likes BGK. Cash Kane on the Maple Leafs. Nuke says Leafs are hot here. Fernando says sounds like an under. It really does, doesn't it, Fernando? All right. Man, I want to take the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm worried about the travel spot here for Toronto. This is a very high price. I'm going to take the Golden Knights just as a free play here. Look, $1.60 now. The value is on the Leafs. I'm still, pardon me, I'm still going with the Knights. Abel likes the under also. All right. And that's going to be the featured game of the night for sure. Let's go to a couple of more here to wrap us up on the ice. We've got the St. Louis Blues here on the road taking on the LA Kings. Kings in a slump here, favored $1.50. They've lost 4 in a row right now. The Blues are hot, even though they are coming off of a loss to the Stars last time out, 6-3. They got blown out to snap their winning streak for sure. Coming in, the Blues have gone 6-2 in their last 10 games overall. The Kings are still 19-3 straight up at home. All those games that they just lost, well, not all of them. Sorry, they just lost all 3 games on a road trip. They did not look good. They were outscored on the road trip, 15-4 by Chicago, St. Louis, and Dallas. They also lost at home to Vancouver before heading out on that trip. For the Kings, however, they are just 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games overall. Meanwhile, St. Louis is 5-2 in their last 7 games overall. The Blues have won the last 3 meetings between these two teams, although this is a second meeting between the two teams this season. The Blues won 4-1 back on March 1st. 4 days ago at home, as mentioned, in that matchup. See what you guys have here between these two. The Blues have won 6 of the last 7, or the Kings have won 6 of the last 7 meetings at home between these two teams. Maybe it's a little bit of a discount here right now at $1. Seems like I've still been hanging on playing these favorites, and it hasn't backfired too bad, even though it's a pretty big number. I mean, how could you fade these Kings here at this point? I'll call it $1.60, but they're not losing at home, even though these two teams currently over the last 10 days are going opposite directions.
Steam playing.
All right, let's see what we got. Not much. Blues puck line. Here we go. I just missed him. Blues puck line for Kiadra. There's Robert on the Blues. Kiadra. Oh, like the Blues there. It's just 2-0 Blues, though. And I think I want to take the Kings. All right. Abel's with me on the Kings. I'm still going to take the Kings. I can't not play the Kings here as a favorite. Yeah. We're up to $1.60. I know I just laid back-to-back $1.60s, but hey, we rolled our big favorites. Who can't just come on YouTube and pick a bunch of big favorites in hockey and bring them home? But the line is what it is. James Farm says, how about St. Louis puck line, though? Maybe St. Louis hangs in there. Yeah, but pretty big number, right? Got to lay $2. Kings puck line for Cash Kane. No, he says, wait, I meant money line. Abel says, that's the best record in the league. And Nunya going to the hockey game down there with Birmingham. Cool. All right. One more on the ice here is going to be the Ducks taking on Canucks here in this one. And you got the Canucks, a big favorite, of course, at minus 225, 5.5 over at minus 115 right now. Canucks have lost 2 straight games coming in to Seattle and to Anaheim on the road. They're on a 4-game West Coast swing. They went just 1-3. They beat the Kings, but they lost to Utah as well. For Anaheim, they shocked Edmonton last night 6-2 in impressive fashion. Hey, we had the Mighty Ducks here on the show on the puck line yesterday against Edmonton. The Ducks are terrific on the road, man. It seems like they can't miss. They cover every puck line. They're 39-17 as a puck line underdog, 22-9 on the puck line on the road, and they're dogs pretty much every time. Meanwhile, Vancouver, while it is a custom that most teams are going to be a loser as a puck line favorite, Vancouver is a really bad loser. 7-19 on the puck line are the Canucks. So the Ducks are going to be able to hang in. They think the Ducks can hang in this one. Maybe they can keep things going right now. They're only they have the same amount of wins as the Canucks this season. They both have 27 wins. And they're still, minus 220 here, 230 here at some spots. So, all right, I guess. Kind of throwing the Ducks in the pond. All right. Give me the under here in this one at 5.5. I'll probably end up having to play the Ducks. They're so hot right now on the puck line. They can hang in there, maybe even on the money line today. Why not? Give me the under here. Feels very sharp, actually, at 5.5. It actually is juiced here to the over by, 5.5 over 15, but I'll call it 5.5. Give me the under. Ducks and Canucks. I don't give a there. That's what I was trying to say, Abel. Or he says this Ucks game, or maybe this game Ucks. All right. I think Yadra might be on the Ducks. Robert's on the Ducks, so Fernando's on the over here. And Thomas says Anaheim is a consensus. Let's take them today. Okay. Anaheim consensus play. I imagine it might. I don't know. Is it puck line or is it? Well, Robert said money line. So maybe money line here. All right. Whichever. All right, that's it for the hockey gang. Let's turn to basketball, where mostly I'm going to focus on the conference tournaments and hope I don't screw it up like yesterday. I was so mad at myself, but truly embarrassed, and that's not easy. Or maybe it is easy. Okay. John Thomas doesn't even know, so we better make it the puck line, though. Let's give our player best chance to win and give it the puck line just in case they lose by 1. Okay, whoops. Let's go to basketball. Okay, and what I've done is I'm going with conference tournaments first, and then we'll look at a couple of big games on the main board, time permitting. We've got all the time in the world. Mikey told me I could make the show 4 hours if I want, but nobody wants to spend that much time with me. Okay, let's go get into it right now and go right out to the action here. Conference tournament time is really starting to feel like we're ramping up here, even if I'm trying to start a few of the conference tournaments early. We know this one for sure at the Sun Belt here in Pensacola, and we saw yesterday's games. Maybe I can even get out the schedule here a little bit from yesterday. Yesterday we saw Southern Miss win it. Hey, we had Coastal Carolina here on the show as our winner on the show, and they got it done. That line just kept moving, and Southern Miss could only manage a short victory. Coastal got the money. Remember, hey, the steam was on Southern Miss there in that one. The steam was on Southern Miss in the under. What happened? It went Coastal and over pretty much. So, all right, look at my scoreboard back there. It's broken still. I think I don't reset it or something, and it's got all these old scores on it. It bothers me a little bit. I want the fresh scores on here. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to try to see if we can't fire up get the scoreboard fired up here a little bit. Oh, now I've screwed it up. Okay. All right. Whatever. We'll see if we can
System playing.
bring it to life here. Now you can see some of my viewing habits there. I'm watching the Beast games. I think I'm still on the first couple of episodes. There we go. I think that's fixed now because I see Maryland and Michigan up here. These are today's games. Yep. Those are today's games. There we go for sure. Okay. Here we go. Southern Miss and Georgia Southern, like I said, covering what we knew yesterday. I see Anthony Edwards here. Looks like he's upgraded to probable. I think, did we say that already? Or okay. Continuing on, though, here in the Sun Belt. Yesterday, Southern Miss beat Coastal 66-63. Worrell was terrific off the bench with those 22 points in that game. Southern Miss came into that game with an 8-game losing streak, but they still took the steam. Now, they did not cover. They're, interestingly enough, this has that, this is the one with that interesting format. They played the seed, 11 and 12, 13 and 14 last night or whatever it was, and then there'll be 2 games every day until they get to that final on Monday. This is that tiered bracket where those top 2 teams already have berths into the semifinals, and then every day for Southern Miss, basically, they're one of those. They're the team that I mentioned the other day. They would have to win 7 days in a row to win this tournament. Okay, so take a look at some of the numbers with these two. For Southern Miss here, they are just 9 and 12 against the spread as an underdog, but Georgia Southern just 4 and 7 against the spread as a dog. These two teams met on February 1st, and Southern Miss won 72-68 as a 2-point favorite. Now, the move has definitely come in here on Georgia Southern. The move from 3.5 up to as many as 5.5 here right now. Georgia Southern 16 and 15 straight up this season. So Georgia Southern is 8 and 3 to the over as a favorite. See if you guys have a pick in this one. Off of yesterday's game, I'm going to the chat here. I'm with Georgia Southern and Southern Miss. With Kiadra says, take Georgia Southern against the spread. And Jerry said when they kept steaming Coastal, he said when they were steaming Coastal, told you when they kept steaming Coastal to 4. Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, Southern Miss was the team getting steamed and then said take Coastal, I think is what he said. And Georgia Southern, I think he's saying he likes them up to 6. And Thomas says he likes Georgia Southern here and lay it. And hey, there's a new commenter here. Welcome to new commenter, Slippery Mexican Pickleball Champion. First time commenter, everybody. A first time visitor here in the chat. Welcome to Slippery Mexican Pickleball Champion. First time ever appearing on any YouTube chat here and any channel. Thank you for being here. Great comment too, by the way. Robert's on the under here. James Parham on Georgia Southern. All right. Look, I like this. I like this Georgia Southern team probably here to get this done. It feels like the spread's going really high here right now, and I got to update it to 5.5. But I'm going to take them. Just going to take them on the show here. Give me Georgia Southern as my pick. The widely reported steam actually came in on the over in this game. It went from 149.5, but actually started to dip down, and we're at 148 here. But no doubt it was 149.5 went to 150, and now it's all the way back down to 148. Okay. Anyways, I'll take the favorite here. I'm going to try the favorite. All right, Robert likes Southern Miss here. I don't mind. I don't mind. Okay, next up. UL Lafayette and Old Dominion in the other game here in the Sun Belt. You've got Old Dominion here, a slight favorite right now, favored by 2.5. The total 135 in this one with ODU. These games will be they're not in time order. I'm putting them in order of just the first time up, and then the conferences. We'll just go through each conference here with their couple of games in each one. So for the 10th seed, ODU, they're 12-19 overall. Louisiana is 12-20. Coming into this one, we saw yesterday, of course, Louisiana in that win overtime against Monroe yesterday, 73-69. I went under here on the morning steam in that game yesterday, and well, it went over because of the overtime, but these two teams definitely under teams for the most part. It's ODU that's a big time under. They're 1-6 to the under as a favorite this season. Meanwhile, for Louisiana, they are 9-13 to the under as a dog. ODU just 3-4 against the spread as a favorite this season. Louisiana is 6-4 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. And we'll go to the chat, see what you might have in this one with Louisiana taking on Old Dominion here. I know I like Old Dominion to smash, actually, and I'm going to take Old Dominion here. Feels like that might be my premium, but I'm going to take ODU to win and cover here, -2.5. See what the chat has. And it's going to be Robert likes the over here in this one. And why not? I mean, like I said, you got let me see. Like I said, Old Dominion, they've been an under team for the most part. Yeah. Okay, Super True on the under here. James Parham, ODU. Robert on the under. And Juan Padilla's here. All right. Scott, ODU. And Slippery Mexican Pickleball Champion, our new commenter here, says maybe take the over. All right. Okay, let's move now to right into the Ohio Valley here, and this one also a neutral site tournament. This one in Evansville, Indiana, with Tennessee Martin here, favored by 1. The total here, 141 in this one for UTM here. They come in with a record of 13-18. Tennessee Tech is 15-16 overall. Tennessee Tech comes in off of a couple of losses to close out the season against Lindenwood and against Western Illinois. Tennessee Tech, they are, let's see here. Yeah, they won the both meetings this season. They won 71-66 at home as a 2.5-point favorite, and also they won on the road 89-95 as a 5.5-point dog. So Tennessee Tech had the upper hand in the two meetings so far this season. Right now, like I said, Martin a 1-point favorite. Tennessee Tech went over in 10 of their 16-13 to the over for Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Martin, meanwhile, 16-14 to the over. So not a lot trend-wise, but the games themselves between the two teams, one went over, one went under. I think this one, I'm just going to rely mostly on what I think about the personnel. It feels like here in this one. This one's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. And I've got a, man, I tell you what, I like the under here in this one. It's already down from 143 to 141. Give me the under here with Tennessee Tech and Tennessee Martin. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. So I'll try the under here with Tennessee Tech and Tennessee Martin. See if you guys have anything in the chat here. Hey, Luke Murphy. Nice to have Luke Murphy here. Thanks, Luke. I think he went under in that Tennessee Tech, Tennessee Martin game here. I'm saying he got under 144. Nice job. Yeah. And Jerry says he likes Martin's roster, but they haven't played too well this season. Yeah, I mean, but really a lot of their struggles were on the road, and I don't consider, I mean, road record, right? I don't, just because the team went 5-12 on the road, I'm not necessarily, because this is a neutral site game. Roberts on Tech. Thomas is on Martin, Super True on Tech, Kiadra on Tech, and Sports Money agrees with me. Let's go under here in this one. All right, the other game also here in the Ohio Valley Conference with Lindenwood and Moorhead. Got Moorhead here favored by 1.5, and the total here 133. This one at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time with Moorhead. They're a little bit of a move here to Moorhead for sure. Like I said, it's probably more 1.5 here right now coming in for Linwood. They beat Tennessee Tech last time out, 76-74. Moorhead in off of a win over Martin, 59-47. Man, Moorhead plays these low-scoring games for the most part of late, but Moorhead 12-18 to the under this season. For Lindenwood, though, they're 16-12 to the over. Moorhead is just 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. They're also 4-8 against the spread as a favorite this season, but Lindenwood just 8-13 against the spread as an underdog. All right, go ahead and see here with the Lindenwood and Moorhead in the chat. And we've got And Super True might be on Moorhead here. AOD on Moorhead. And Cash Cane might be on Lindenwood. You want Lindenwood or do you want Moorhead? I don't know. Okay. These two teams met back on February 13th. It was Lindenwood getting the money 73 to 60. In that one, Lindenwood was a 1-point dog. In the first meeting, though, Moorhead won at home 82 to 65. Moorhead was a 6-point favorite in that one. All right, I know what I'm on. I'm on Lindenwood here over Moorhead. I'll take him plus 1.5. Now I'm the guilty party, right? Now the chat's off kilter, but it's my fault. It's not your fault this time. It's me being totally immature. All right, and I'm usually the guy that has no, that ruins all the fun. All right, that's it for those two. Let's continue on here. Let's go to hey, first of all, you gotta spell it right, and then you can't follow up the old Moorhead Lindenwood game without going to Oral, taking on Mo KC. This wasn't planned. This is just the way the schedule falls. All right, Missouri, Kansas City here, favored by 5.5 here in the Summit. First round game. It's been a disappointing season here for Oral for sure. Pretty big move on this one, really to the under. This one opened as high as 139, and now we're sitting here at 135.5 here for the most part right now. And for Oral here, and their 7-22 record coming into this one, Missouri, Kansas City 12-19. Oral comes in with consecutive losses to Omaha and South Dakota State. Missouri, Kansas City did lose 2 of their last 3 games, but covered the spread in all 3 games coming in. Oral is just 8-15 against the spread as an underdog here. Missouri, Kansas City, not a great favorite, 5-7 against the spread as a favorite. Missouri, Kansas City is 8-19 to the under this season. Meanwhile, Oral Roberts 12-11 to the over as a dog. These two teams met back on February 1st. It was 73-68. Oral won that one as a 3-point dog. Missouri, Kansas City got their win at home 90-67 as a 7.5-point favorite in their first meeting this season. So let's go to the chat and take a look at this one with Oral and Missouri, Kansas City. Missouri, Kansas City's covered 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And for me, I'm going to end up here on the under with Oral Roberts and Missouri, Kansas City. Boy, I really was considering this one earlier when it was at least at 137 here. Like I said, it was as high as 139. I knew it was already on the move. The steam came in on the under, and I'm going to take the under here with Oral Roberts and Missouri, Kansas City as my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. And let's see here. AOD, you guys. Trying to think of something funny to say here to contribute. You guys are going crazy there. Slippery Mexican liking Oral here, possibly. Oh, gravy! That's too bad. That's too bad. I like those fan fests. And good point, Thomas. Oral has had good teams, but it's no good this year, right? For sure. And Slippery Mexican, he says, you know, they got a good program. It just didn't work out this year for Oral Roberts. Jerry's gone over here. Super True, Mo KC under in the first half. And Timmy Two Shoes, he says, give me PSG today in the matchup with
Steam
Liverpool.
playing.
Thank you, Timmy. Hey, I've got some steam to report on here. Texas Tech is taking steam here right now in the matchup with Colorado. Texas Tech was 17-point favorite. They're going to be up to 18, maybe even 18 and a half. Texas Tech taking the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Couple more here in tournament action. Let's go to Le Moyne taking on
Final.
Central Connecticut here in this one as we got action in the Northeast Conference. Now in the Northeast Conference, these are home games for the team, regular site games here, if you will. So you've got Le Moyne here on the road against Central Connecticut at Central Connecticut here. Central Connecticut comes in with a 23-6 record in this one. Le Moyne 9-22, the standard bracket here. So you got the top team taking on the worst team in this one. So pretty big number, of course.
System playing.
Central Connecticut comes in here on a winning streak right now. They're on a roll. Hello? Central Connecticut comes in here on a roll right now, on a winning streak. They've big time winning streak here right now. And not only that, they're covering numbers here of late. They won and covered against Wagner, 55-48, laying 6.5. They did not cover in the last meeting with Le Moyne, although they did beat them by 9. Le Moyne got the money in
Critical
that one.
notice.
In the first meeting, however, Central Connecticut won and covered at Le Moyne 93-70. A little bit of news here. Looks like Tyler Hero has been moved to questionable here in this one and not looking good here, actually. We don't know. Going to need to investigate further, but I would think that maybe, just maybe, Hero might not make the lineup here for Cleveland tonight. All right, let me continue on, though, here with Le Moyne and Central Connecticut. Tournament action here in the Northeast Conference. I've got the over here in this one with Le Moyne and Central Connecticut. There's no doubt that Le Moyne, look, 7-14 against the spread as an underdog, 9-20 against the spread overall. Central Connecticut, 14-7 against the spread as a favorite, and 19-8 against the spread overall. But I'm going to end up going over here, Le Moyne. Probably not going to be able to stop Central Connecticut, I wouldn't think. Le Moyne 22-7 to the over this season. They went over in 9 of their last 10 games to close out the season. They were also 12-5 to the over on the road and 15-6 to the over as a dog. Central Connecticut was a bit of an under team this season, but did go under in 7 of their last 10 games, and both of the meetings this season between these two teams went over. So I'm on the over here with Le Moyne and Central Connecticut. All right. Maybe Thomas went with Central Connecticut. Oh, he did not play it. Okay. Corey Richmond here today. Corey, hey, Corey, I gave out a play already in the Champions League today. I went with the under in the game between Inter Milan and Feyenoord. And also, I do have some plays over at winnable.com. I'll have, I believe, 3 plays on my subscription service that's free. So not to tell you to go over there if you want more from me, but Inter and Feyenoord under is my play here on the Morning Steam Show. Also, just moments ago, Steam here on Clemson and Boston College. Steam to the under right now. It was 137.5. But we're seeing Steam here right now to the under with Clemson and BC all the way down here now to 136 with Clemson and BC. All right. And let's see, Noli says he likes the Sunbelt games to go under today. Thank you, Noli. All right. Let me make a note of that. Noli's going to be nice enough to come in here and give me the Sunbelt under. I just gave out two sides. Now, I will say this, Noli, the Steam was on the over in both those games. But again, in one of those, we were talking about it, the Southern Miss game, it went steamed over and it still came back down. Thank you, Noli. All right. I'm on the over there in that one. All right, let's get the next one here with Chicago State and Long Island. We already talked about this game a little bit. The Steam came in here on the over with Chicago State and Long Island. And Long Island, the number 2 seed in the Northeast Conference, come in here on a long winning streak. And, well, Chicago State's Chicago State, and they're on a long losing streak. Here's a little bit of Steam real quick. Wisconsin and Minnesota, Steam to the under here in this one. It was 140. We're down to 139 here with Wisconsin and Minnesota. Steam to the under. All right, Long Island here, 9-2 against the spread at home this season. Chicago State, not awful against the spread. They had their moments this season. They still managed to push against St. Francis in their season finale, but they were kind of tailing off again at the end. Long Island is not only winning, but they're covering pretty much against everybody right now. Not only are they on a long winning streak, they're covering every game here right now as well. So I don't know. For me, look, Chicago State, 5 of the last 6 games for Chicago State has gone over, including 8 of the last 10 overall. But LIU 2-9 to the under at home. A lot of conflicting numbers, I would say, here in this one, but I've got to take LIU to blow out Chicago State. I've probably given a premium here, but I don't know if Chicago State hangs in this time around. Give me LIU to blow them out. Thomas is on Minnesota and Brojangles. Hello. Nice to have Brojangles in here. And Jerry says, don't forget, no, Chicago State did get that win. He says they they beat them last time out, 73-67 at home. They were 3.5-point dogs. Now, to be fair, LIU won the first meeting 53-39 as an 8-point favorite here at LIU. So that was a 14-point spread. This is 12.5. Boy, that number really, really low number there in that first game, huh? 53-39 was the final. All right. Thank you, Corey. No problem. I mean, these guys don't mind if I do a little pitch here. They know what I'm all about. I'm all about that tout life. Let me get that for you here real quick, and I'll put it up there on the screen. There's also a QR code up here in the upper right-hand corner that'll take you to that winnable page. But my free subscriptions will have the plays. I got to send them out still, but this is how I kind of get people signed up. So I really appreciate it. Thank you, Corey. And I'll have 3 plays for Champions League up there today. And we'll see. Got that Liverpool PSG game. Anybody? Okay, here, let's see. That's right, Thomas. You take a picture of the QR code. It should come up a little yellow that you click it, and it takes you right to it. No, thank you, Corey. Okay, let's keep it going here with conference tournament action right now. The show's almost over, actually. I've only got a few games left here. Wagner and St. Francis. You got St. The move came in on Wagner, didn't it? We talked about it. Down to 2.5 here.
System play.
Says 3.5 on screen, but it's 2.5 and 123 right now in this one. St. Francis finished strong with 3 straight wins to close out the season. They beat Chicago State in a push, 80-71. They beat FDU as a 1.5-point dog, and they beat Lemoyne as a 3.5-point dog to finish strong and earn the number 3 seed. Meanwhile, for 6th-seeded Wagner, they lost their last 2 games to Central Connecticut and to Long Island, so not easy opponents for sure, but they didn't cover the spread in either of those games. Getting 6.5 points here for Wagner. They are just 4-9 against the spread as an underdog here, but they're not getting the value for sure. Wagner took the steam, and they're only getting 2.5 right now. They were getting 4.5 in this one, so maybe the Sharps are on Wagner here a little bit, but I don't know if I want them necessarily. I kind of want to take St. Francis, and that's what I'm going to do. Give me St. Francis here minus 2.5 today. I'll take St. Francis in this one. St. Francis 4-2-1 as a favorite. They haven't been a favorite too often. There was in conference play, however, and like I said, they finished pretty strong here for the most part. And I'll take St. Francis over Wagner. And Thomas is on Wagner. Kiadra's on Wagner. You guys are on Wagner. Okay. Well, I guess I should have looked at the chat first, because Wagner looks like a consensus play, Thomas. Slippery Mexican says Wagner's a pretty good squad. All right. Jerry says, we just do some more of these games here. Don't do the tournament games. Wagner and under. Jerry's going St. Francis. Oh, Sharpie, hello. Yes, Sharpie. We're ready for baseball season. No doubt. There's something about it. And you know what, Sharpie, I know you're not was watching the other night, 2 nights ago. Did anybody watch the game late out at Hawaii? It was Northeastern against Hawaii, and the game went extra innings. And you know what? We didn't start with a runner at second base. We had a 12-inning game. It was a real baseball game. And not only that, they had a sportsmanship line at the end of the game, and the kids started a little fight. It was great. All right. Terrell says he'll take Wagner here. And Thomas says Wagner is a consensus play. Boy, I should have went to the chat first, because this is one of those where I'm against the chat. And I will be the first to come in here and say I beat the Team Steam consensus, because it's such an honor. But right now, Team Steam consensus, when I've gone against them, I've lost 3 in a row. All right. One more in the Northeast Conference with Stonehill taking on Fairleigh Dickinson. Here in this one, FDU's the 4 seed at 12-19. Stonehill's the 5 seed, 15-16. Coming in, Stonehill won their season finale 85-79 over Lemoyne, but Stonehill is in a funk against the spread. They are not covering anything here right now of late. They're struggling against the number, but fortunately for them, so is Fairleigh Dickinson. Now, Fairleigh Dickinson beat Stonehill 86-69. It's basically the only game that Fairleigh Dickinson's won over the last 2 weeks of the season, but still they won and covered in that game. The first meeting was also FDU 65-54 at Stonehill, and FDU was a 1.5 point dog in that one. So F. Dick got the money and won and got the money in both of those games. Fairleigh Dickinson is 2-7 to the under as a favorite this season. Go to the chat, see if you have a play here with Stonehill and Fairleigh Dickinson in this one. I know where I'm headed here with this one. I've got the under with Stonehill and Fairleigh Dickinson. Look, if Fairleigh Dickinson's going to win this game and cover, which, you know what? I think they might. I would think it will go under here. Fairleigh Dickinson went under in 7 of their last 10 games and went 3-7 to the under at home. They went 10-17 to the under this season. Give me the under, Stonehill and Fairleigh Dickinson. And let's see what else we got here with. And I think Jerry's going with Fairleigh Dickinson here. So is Robert. And Keandra says, why is the spread so low? Fairleigh Dickinson should probably be at least 4.5. Well, Keandra didn't say that. I kind of threw that last part in myself. And if anything, and Slippery Mexican likes Stonehill. Says Stonehill can make a run here in conference play as the 5 seed. All right, that's it for that one. We've got one more conference tournament game getting underway. This one in the Big South with Upstate and Gardner-Webb. You've got a couple of real beauties here. Upstate, they were one of the worst teams in the country, it felt like, this season, with a 6-25 record overall. Webb is 10-19 overall coming into this one. It was Webb that lost 4 straight games to finish the season. Upstate lost their last 2 games, but they did beat Charleston Southern 79-69.
Final
6.5 point dog before losing their final 2 games of the season. These 2 teams were garbage against the number pretty much. Gardner-Webb failed in 7 of their last 10 overall, as did Upstate. Gardner-Webb finished just 4-8 against the spread at home this season. These teams combined to go 35-21 to the over this season, and Upstate 17-11 to the over. This season, they were an underdog in every single game this season, if I'm not mistaken. Gardner-Webb, meanwhile, 7-3-1 to the over as a favorite. Go to the chat here in this one between Upstate and Gardner-Webb. See what you have here, if anything. Here we go in the chat. Cash Kane is on Upstate. And Jerry says they might be live here. Keandra likes Upstate and over. And Slippery Mexican says take Gardner-Webb. And Thomas says Upstate is a consensus play here. Wow. Okay. Well, I better pivot here to the total in this one with Upstate and Gardner-Webb, and I'm going to take the over here with these 2. I know the Sharps are kind of on the under here so far, but I've got the over. All right. Jerry said let's do some more games, so let's at least squeeze in. We can't not do a few more big important games. I mean, come on. Maryland and Michigan. I mean, what are we doing here? We've got teams that are, we just previewed teams that are 5-25. Let's at least get to the big game in the Big Ten here, the way things are going, right, with Michigan coming in. It's still everything on the line here for Michigan, a game back right now of Sparty here with, just remember, this is it, just 2 games left this season. Michigan and Michigan State will meet on Sunday in the season finale, but Michigan got to win this one, and it's not easy. They're only favored by 2 here currently, and the total, make sure I get it right here, total is 154 in this one. So Michigan, they're up to a 2.5 point favorite, no doubt. So big game still, no doubt, no matter how you look at it here. Are the Wolverines, too high here at this point? I mean, they're not covering anything right now. 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games, but Maryland's just 3-6 against the spread on the true road this season. Now Maryland is 3-2 against the spread as an underdog this season. These 2 teams met back on January. No, these 2 teams did not meet this season. This is the only meeting between these 2 teams this season. All right. I've got the under here in this one between Maryland and Michigan. There's no doubt that these 2 teams have been mostly over teams this season, but I've got to take the under here in this important matchup between Maryland and Michigan. Go to the chat real quick. Thomas is on Maryland here. Super True's on the over. Cash Kane on Maryland. Terrell says he's got both teams in the 80s today. Kiadra's on Michigan. I think Cash Kane on the over. Well, I went with the under. Okay, a couple more here, though, real quick, if we may. I just want to touch on the ACC real quick because obviously Duke, they haven't clinched it. Duke right now has obviously the lead with just 1 loss, but Clemson has 2 losses. Clemson 16-2 coming in. Now Clemson, to be fair, Clemson with 2 games left currently, and Duke has just 1 game left against Carolina. So obviously they can only finish there with a tie, but still Clemson and Louisville, we'll preview them in a second, do have a chance here. Steam coming in right now, Tennessee and Ole Miss, Steam to the under. It was 138.5. We're down to 137.5, maybe 137 here. Tennessee and Ole Miss, Steam here to the under. All right, Clemson and Boston College. Clemson, big 14-point favorite here in this one. It's up to 15.5 actually here right now. We talked about that steam that came rolling in. Clemson looking good, man. Game in and game out at this point. On a winning streak here. BC lost their last 2 games coming into this one. They lost to Cal and Stanford on the road, but now come home to face a Clemson team not only winning, but they're covering every game. Right now, they're 9-3 against the spread on the road. They've covered 8 of the last 10 games overall. Clemson just 4-8 to the under on the road this season. Let's go to the chat here. This one with Clemson and Boston College. Clemson did take that steam. It also came in on the under here. All right. See what you guys have here. Help me out with Cash Kane says lay it with Clemson. Thomas says too many points. Got to take BC. Just too many points here, even at home right now. Robert says the under for Robert. That's what I feel like too, Robert. Terrell says BC can come within a few here. Jerry says that's just too many points. This Clemson team is taking no prisoners, it feels like right now. Give me the under in this one with Clemson and Boston College. I'm going under. All right, and then Cal and Louisville. Louisville can still also finish with 2 losses in conference play this season, so gotta mention Louisville in here in their matchup with Cal. I'm showing Louisville favored in this one by 15, call it 14 now. 14, 153.5. So a little bit of a move here on the Bears. They got steamed from 15 down to 14 here. Cal comes in right now with a record of 12-16 overall. As we said, Louisville's 23-6 overall. They're on a winning streak for sure right now. Winning and covering for the most part. They did fail to cover in wins against Virginia Tech and Florida State, just 1-2 against the spread their last 3. But Cal 9-3 against the spread on the road. They've done a terrific job. Louisville just 6-10 against the spread at home this season. So Cal's been kind of the better spread team, and that's what I'm going with. I'm taking Cal here. I think it feels like a premium for me. Cal's been pretty decent on the road, and they did beat BC and covered 82-71 last time out. Before that, Cal was losing. They were on a losing streak, but even though they got beat by SMU 81-77 as a 3.5-point dog, they lost by 4. Before that, they were covering every game that they were still losing. They covered against Stanford, getting 6.5, losing by 5. They covered against Georgia Tech. They were getting 3. They lost by 2. They took on Duke. They lost by 21. They were getting 23.5. So they keep getting the number just barely, and I'm sure that's what will happen here today. I'm going to take Cal plus the points at Louisville. Super True likes the Tigers to smash. Okay. And Jerry likes Cal here in this one. He says Louisville struggling to get those numbers here of late. Against Pitt, B-Tech. Nunya's with Cal. Hello, Nunya. Thomas took Cal. Thomas took Cal. He did it. All right, I think I got one more here, and I think that'll do it for the morning steam. Again, a lot of good games, but nothing that's going to decide those conferences here at this point. And we took care of the business here, but this one does. You got George Mason here. Definitely an important game here for George Mason. If you look at the current standings in the A10, they trail VCU by a game and a half with 2 games to play here. Now they are a 13-point favorite, but just want to mention because they are in action and still alive here for a little bit of a share of a title with first place VCU. So Mason here in this one, taking on LaSalle. Felt like the other kind of important game. Mason 22-7, LaSalle just 12-17. LaSalle's on a long losing streak here. They're not covering any numbers either. They've gotten blown out in all these games. Really playing poorly right now. They're 3-11 against the spread on the road, 5-11 against the spread as an underdog. Mason's not a great cover, but I don't know. They've been winning at least. They're 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games coming in. So at least they win, but of course they were supposed to win. So LaSalle and George Mason today in this one. And for me, I've got the over with LaSalle and George Mason. Going to go over here at 133.5. And that'll do it for the morning steam. By the way, LaSalle did take the steam in that game from 13. It says 13 there on the screen, but the current line in the game is 12 at BetOnline. All right, let me get the comments here real quick on that. LaSalle for Cash Kane. Nunez says Alabama's his best play. High Tide. And Jerry says, yeah, you're going to have Fran getting up for the game. All right, that's it for the morning steam, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here. Let's have a great sports betting day. Like I said, going to have for sure a little bit of soccer. I hope I can get to a little bit of tennis. What a great card today over at Indian Wells. Getting full underway in action at Indian Wells. Conference tournament action tonight as well. Don't forget, check out tonight VB MMA picks. I did my preview for UFC 313 for this weekend with the guys last night. Previewed the main event, of course, between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev as the main event this week at UFC 313. So join VB MMA Picks, sponsored by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. We also previewed 3 other fights with this week's special guest, Dagestan Poppy. You got to have Dagestan Poppy when you got a Dagestani like Magomed Ankalaev this week. So check it out, VB MMA Picks here on the Sports Money Network. Also, don't forget, tonight we'll have the upload for First Strike. The guys will have their 4 best plays for the UFC action here this weekend. Also, we'll have Sub Club underneath the videos tab. Sub has a pick and a preview for the game between Barcelona and Benfica at UFC in UEFA Champions League action today. We got that first game going off here in just about an hour, and then 3 more games after that. So it should be a great day of sports betting action. If you want to get more plays from me, go over to winnable.com and pick up my plays over there. Click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my Winnable page, and I have more plays for you. Hey, that free subscription went 3-0 in Chinese Basketball Association overnight. Hey, I'll take it where I can get it. So check me out over at winnable.com. I also got plays behind a paywall, $4 a day, $8 a week, or $19.95 a month when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. All right, let's do the drawing right now. Also want to mention, hopefully, there is steam that came in just moments ago with the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards. Steam to the under at 230, down to 229 here. Remember, I went with the under as my pick, and we're seeing steam to the under with Utah and Washington. Let's do the drawing right now and see who is going to win the consensus parlay package here. I got to send it out to Johnny Walker. Here we go. There we go. Let's see who wins. Good luck, everybody. Oh, let me flash it on the screen here, I think, real quick. I think we've got it here from Thomas. Let's look at it. Super True, first half Louisville. Here's thank you to Cash Kane today. Terrell says UConn to get Marquette. Here's our consensus. Thank you, Thomas, very much. Detroit, Michigan ATS, Anaheim Puckline, Wagner ATS, and South Carolina Upstate. Abel likes USC tonight in their matchup with Washington. Nunya's got a parlay there. Thank you, Nunya. Thank you, Jerry, for being here today. Thank you, Sub. Nunya's got Alabama in a blowout. Curtis is typing anything in the chat. Bro Jangles is singing Peter Gabriel here. I want to be your sledgehammer. All right. Let's run it and see who wins. Gravy, Nuke, Bill, Robert, Noli, Mr. Tomatoes, Gravy, Mexican, Noli, Joe W. B. Hawk just won. Congratulations to B. Hawk, the winner of the consensus parlay here today.
System playing.
Good luck to B. Hawk. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. Today, don't forget, Mikey Money's here at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, with pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action with his picks, and you can interact with him in the chat. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me here on the show. Don't forget our other content here. Oh, also, we've got the NRL previews apparently here already up. Let me make sure of that. Yeah, we've got the previews up for NRL with Dan and his analysts this week for the games this weekend in the National Rugby League. We got some nice coverage here on the Sports Money Network. We'll preview the games each week if we have time, but Dan will do it better on the video. So appreciate you guys for joining me here. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.